All right, so question of the day, picking up where we left off with DeFi. I mean, with the DeFi, with Polkadot, with Ethereum, but now let's add some other blockchains to the mix, and now let's narrow it down to just DeFi blockchains. Right, so go to menti.com, menti.com. Use the code 162084. That's 162084 to submit your question. So, question of the day. What are the top DeFi blockchains when it comes to decentralized finance? Which blockchain? We have 5 here, just to keep it simple. What blockchains do you think are best for DeFi? Is it Bitcoin? Some people, especially the Bitcoin maximalists, believe that Bitcoin is still a DeFi blockchain because, I mean, it's a currency, it's a store of value, and it's decentralized. Then second, Polkadot. Third, Ethereum. Fourth, EOS. Fifth, Tron. All right, so go to menti.com, make your voices heard. This is the question of the day. Last question before we hop into the AMA and some other questions. Okay, go here, make your questions. Make your voices heard. So, in my opinion, if I had to, right now I think top DeFi blockchain is still Ethereum, right? So this is kind of different from the other question because I'm thinking kind of long term, where is DeFi going to reside? And right now it's Ethereum's race to lose. Now, honestly, I don't think Bitcoin is part of DeFi. I mean, yes, in a way it is DeFi, but I'm thinking DeFi is more than just a store of value. I'm thinking like the whole shebang. Like, imagine the world is our oyster. Imagine getting all of Wall Street onto the blockchain. I think it's going to happen on Ethereum. That's why I'm very, very bullish on Ethereum long term. I think Ethereum will eventually surpass Bitcoin in market cap because of DeFi, right? So I think that's really kind of my take on that. When it comes to EOS hasn't really done much, honestly. I mean, they have a lot of money, but quite frankly, they've not done much. I mean, maybe, I'm not sure exactly what's going on over there. Tron actually does have a space. They basically just kind of copy Ethereum, right? It's kind of like, I don't mean to insult anybody, but kind of like when Chinese companies take a working business model in America and copy it in China, right? So kind of taking like Uber, Airbnb, Google, and just doing the same thing to the Chinese audience because American companies can't really enter the Chinese market, right? So I think there will definitely be room for a Chinese blockchain that kind of has the stamp of approval from the Asian community and Asian ecosystem because they're able to cater to the Asian or Chinese needs much more than an outsider, right? So that's why I think there will always be a need for that. So even if some people might make fun of these projects like Tron, right? I mean, Ethereum is not really doing much in China to my knowledge, right? So as a result, there will always be that gap in the market. And then whether Tron fulfills that, I'm not sure about that because we have Neo, you have all these other blockchains as well. There's so many blockchains in the space that Tron could be one of many, right? And then Polkadot, I think really, as mentioned, is the closest competitor. But I mean, right now it's Ethereum's race to lose, in my opinion. Bill, what's your take? What blockchain do you think could compete with Ethereum when it comes to DeFi, besides Polkadot and Ether?
Okay, well, we've done some work on Neo, right? Tron woke up recently, but Neo's been around for a while and is hanging around, I think, even in the Token Metrics rankings. So you're right. I mean, DeFi could get so big that, like, Ethereum could be like the primary node, or, I don't want to say the B word, bank, but it could be the primary network. And there could be 4 or 5 other players, like there were, a dozen Wall Street players in the 80s or the 90s. So there is room for these other players because, really, there wasn't any applications to run on these networks before DeFi, right? Mm-hmm. So if somebody's got something cool in DeFi, they can have a pulse. They can move. If they can cater to an Asian audience with DeFi, they can go up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well said. So comment here from Michael. Crypto bull market to DeFi bull market to interoperability bull market, global adoption. Yeah. I mean, I think if if we have a bull market to DeFi, then from DeFi to interoperability, yeah, I mean, interoperability is how we really get to global adoption, right? Because if we can, because right now when somebody gets into blockchain and crypto, it's like speaking a foreign language, right? So if they can be one blockchain, maybe even multiple, that are able to unify everything and have it talk to each other and make it easier, right? Polkadot has APIs that can really kind of connect to other different blockchains. If they can make it easier for developers to build, I mean, that really makes everything more accessible for developers to build DeFi applications. So I think those two narratives are pretty big. Micah goes on to say the key is DOT's governance is distributed. It's like when you're buying DOT now, you're buying shares on Jekyll Island 100 years ago. Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Michael. Okay. All right. Now let's go back to question of the day. So we have asked the audience question of the day. So Ethereum has won. Ethereum is a top DeFi blockchain, but it is very, very close. Polkadot came in second place by hair. Then third is Bitcoin, followed by EOS and Tron. So, I mean, the community believes Bitcoin is not really a top DeFi blockchain, which is really saying something. I mean, Bitcoin still has great technology, but kind of as we kind of agreed as well, we think Ethereum and Polkadot are really innovating and taking blockchain to the next level. So tell us what you think. Is there a blockchain we missed? Tell us down in the comments below.